Guess this is it. Guess so. This is it. Hi and welcome. Elaine Marolakos Edelson with AstrologyMojo. And I want to help you get your mojo back. So today we are talking about calming down the anxiety. And with some very easy techniques. So I'm going to show you how to do those. But first, come by, say hello to me. If you're new to me and you don't know that I say, in astrology, the planets don't make you do anything. We live in a cooperation with the cosmos so that when the planets make a move, you feel it. And when you make a move, it's reflected by way of aspects and angles in astrology. So basically, astrology tells you what time it is. And right now, it's time for the Mercury in retrograde in Aquarius through February 20th. Add another 10 to 14 days for the shadow phase. Excuse me. And what we're going to discover is wherever Mercury is, I talked about this in the last show, but wherever Mercury is in your chart, if it's in Aquarius, or if it's already retrograde in your natal chart, you will really feel this the most. Everyone has Aquarius in their chart because it's on the cusp of a house. And hey, Sasha's here. Come say hi to me. And thank you for saying that. So and again, people will say, well, if the planets don't make you do anything, why are we having a collective, freak out? Well, we may not be. But during a Mercury in retrograde in Aquarius, what I find is that there are more and more energies coming to the planet. And some people are more susceptible at different times to receiving those energies and then to releasing energies of their own that no longer serve. And during those periods, we can experience anything at any time during any phase, lunar or not, Mercury retrograde or not. And it almost feels like, you stir the pot of stuff and it brings up your biology and your chemistry. And if you're not eating well, if you're not taking care of your biology, working out, getting some walks, doing deep breaths, this energy can build and it can create, people talk about static electricity, in the winter, you're walking across a carpet and then you touch a surface and you get a shock. Well, there's nothing static about electricity. It's just that the energy builds and builds and builds and looks for a contact. So during this Mercury in retrograde in Aquarius, a lot of people who are more sensitive, a lot of starseeds, a lot of people working on themselves, releasing patterns, really opening up to new awarenesses, are going to start feeling more and more, what's that? And then that can produce a lot of stress or panic or anxiety or worry. And so, I'm not diagnosing, I am not prescribing, but I'm telling you about some proven techniques, neurological techniques, and working with your body so that you can benefit and start to calm down the downloads or the uploads or the transition of energy in your body. Now, some people might be dreaming heavily or wake up feeling exhausted, or the opposite, some insomnia, or, you're just walking through the room and suddenly it feels like something creeps up on you and you're like, what just happened to me? I feel so out of control. It's harder to breathe and I'm starting to worry, or I feel anxious, or I'm starting to panic, or I don't know what's happening. And nothing happened between that room and this room. So let alone the stuff that's already happening that you're aware of. Okay, so you've heard me say this before, and this card kept flipping out. So I guess it wants to be seen. You're very close to achieving your goal. Okay, that's great to hear, right? A little encouragement from the universe before we even get going. So, what I want you to start to concentrate on is the body, mind, spirit connection always. You know, who are you in the present moment? And that 95% of your unconscious self is running the show. So if that 5% is saying, yeah, I'm going toward that, and I'm really happy and I want to get that done, and I'm so excited to get that new job, to finally travel somewhere, to fill in the blank, make more money, have a better relationship, develop a new friendship, feel better in my body, whatever it is that you're wanting to manifest. You are the power. You're the source of power, and it comes through you because you're a stream of energy. You are pure conscious love. So when you start to channel that energy and it gets stuck in places that are going backwards, and say, oh no, that's never going to work. Oh yeah, no. Why even bother? That's, there's not enough. Why would you do that? So we want to address those places that are being shaken up right now before you release them, as you release them. As you say bye-bye to the past that doesn't, really serve you, because everybody's getting an upgrade now. Everybody. Whether they're accepting it and applying it is a personal choice, no judgment. But everybody's feeling the vibe. And that's, in astrology, we look at the Saturn and Jupiter in Aquarius now. And that's, now I have something in my eye. Great. So I think it's important that we look at what you can do chemically, biologically, intuitively to really help you dampen down, mitigate, turn the frequency down, the volume down on panic, stress, and anxiety. So that's what we're going to focus on today. How's everybody doing? Come say hello to me. If you're listening to this in a replay, okay. I can't see you, but I think I have my bangs or whatever. If you're listening to this in a replay on YouTube or here on Facebook, then it's the most appropriate time for you to hear this. But if I don't respond to your posts, it's because it's a replay, and I'm in another galaxy and another time. Okay, so I want to talk about the vagus nerve, the vagus system in your body. Not the VEGAS, like, yeah, we're going to Vegas, baby. Let's look at it the other way. We're going to release stress from the vagus, VAGAS. Vagus nerve. And it runs from the cerebral cortex through the gut, and it affects it affects the parasympathetic nervous system and also the sympathetic nervous system. So the sympathetic nervous system is the part of you, and it's a vein, you can see it if you look it up on Google, it's your go mode. Gotta run, gotta do, gotta get, gotta go, gotta run, hurry. And you're working out, that's the sympathetic nervous system. There's a higher heart rate, there's possibly cortisol involved or adrenaline. It can mean you have a nightmare, you wake up, that's the sympathetic nervous system. It's the fight or flight. It's what gets stuck in post-traumatic stress. It's what gets heightened when you don't turn down the volume in the world, the constant barrage of input, television, phone, laptops, tablets, inviting Alexa into your home. There's a lot of currents that can move your energy into that stuck place in the sympathetic nervous system. So the parasympathetic nervous system is the recuperation or the reset or the recovery. You work out really hard. Yeah, you run down the block. Oh, you're chasing the, the postal. Hey, wait, I got a letter. And then you calm down. Then there's different chemicals that are released in your body. So what I think is important is that you understand how to take control and access your breathing. You're in a body, you breathe. It is powerful. It oxygenates your blood. It can calm you down. And I want to show you some very simple techniques. I've got them written so I don't forget. And so one of the first ones is to literally breathe in very slowly and filling up the gut area. Not the chest area, but the gut to the rib cage on the side. So it would just be a count of 4 or 5, filling up that area down here and through the ribs, holding for 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale out of the belly, pulling your dantian, your belly button to the base of your spine. And then doing that a few times. Just inhaling slowly, right? You breathe. It takes very little time and effort, but what the benefits are the reduction in cortisol, the increase in endorphins, and you chill out, okay? And then you can get clear on your objectives. So doing that technique, there is conjecture. You can inhale slowly to fill your belly to a count of 4 or 5, hold it to a count of 4, and exhale slowly from the belly to a count of 4, 5, or 6. And then just do that a few times, and that will calm it down. Another great technique that you can do is when you're having a freak out and you're panicked, the worst thing you can say to somebody who's really stressed is calm down, because they can't. When you're swimming against the tide and someone says, just float, stop moving, you're like, are you crazy? I will drown. So when you're going in a certain direction, you have to slowly transition, jump tracks, move to the next thought, the next moment, using your breath. It's the simplest way. But if you're not in the water, another easy way is to literally, and these are all proven, simple techniques. Check with your doctor if you need to, or your healthcare professionals. But try them out. These are simple. They won't cause harm. And it doesn't matter which hand you use. But if you're in a moment of concentrated freak out, you do the breathing exercise and start to focus. You need to narrow focus in order to broaden focus. So it's like the light goes up in chaos. You hold your breath. You're not getting the oxygen you need. Now we need to grab that second, that moment, and inhale, exhale. You start to dim the light on the chaos, and then all of a sudden you're focused on one thing. This technique is one of them. And that is to slowly, as you inhale, slowly trace your hand by each finger, and then, here, I'll do it from the back. So inhale and exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale and exhale. And you do it until you finish your hand. Now, you can leave it at that and do it a few more times. So you've just narrowed, you've gone from the wide focus of chaos through breath. You narrowed the focus to an exercise that is helping to calm the entire system down and put you in parasympathetic. And you want that so that you can reset and recalibrate. And doing that technique helps a lot. If you still feel like I need something different or something else, then we move to a different technique which is a little bit more physically involved. You can do it lying down on the floor or sitting up or standing up. And I'm not going to stand because you won't be able to see me, but I think we can get it all in a frame. Let me just move this over. I'm moving. Okay, so what you would do is take your arm and put it on top of your head, and then you would gently pull, not any stress involved or muscle tension, and just relax your ear. And I'm going to have to take my glasses off for this so you can see my eyes. So the hand goes to the top of the head, and it would be the right arm to the top of the head and the right ear to the right shoulder, comfortably. This is not a contest. There's nothing going on here. So you're facing one direction. Your eyes are going to look up to the opposite direction for a count of 30 minimum. So when you're doing this exercise, you're going to notice your breath. And the moment you start to feel like you're out of breath, you have to gasp, you have to cough, you have to clear your throat, or, do one of those, is the actual release in the sympathetic nervous system. And you're making the switch to the parasympathetic. Minimum 30 seconds. You can go longer. You can do it several times a day. You can do it after a stressful phone call, after a stressful experience, you're having trouble sleeping at night, that kind of thing, okay? So, and then you repeat it on the other side. So your other hand goes to the top of the head, the elbow goes back, kind of all in line, straight to the top of the head, and then gently that ear goes to that shoulder, and then your eyes go in the opposite direction up to the corner. And you're doing this for 30 seconds. And as you're doing this, what you're doing is releasing certain holds on a trauma, on a thought, on a track you can't seem to get off of. And once you hit the 30-second mark, you can go longer. You might start to feel like, I can't breathe really well. That's a great sign that it's working. You keep your eyes focused on that until you feel like you've had your breath, the cough, the clearing of the throat, the breathing, and then you relax. Does that make sense? Okay, these are proven techniques to get you from one place to the other. I'm going to move this back over again. And I've got Rivendell behind me that's supporting us in some fairy magic. Let me just check in. Who's here? Hello? Nice to see you. Rhonda says, oh gosh, thought I was just going nuts the last few days. Very uneasy, sad, tired, just stuck and saturated. I can totally relate. So can we all. And so these exercises that I'm showing you are easily done to help you move into recovery, whatever that means. Now, we want to make sure you're also drinking a lot of clean, clear, healthy water during the day. And so we've done and eating well and taking your nutrients. And a lot of times anxiety is produced by lack of certain minerals in the body. If you're having muscle cramps in the middle of the night, you wake up to go to the bathroom at 11 or 2 in the morning and your toes are cramping or your calves are cramping, that is a clear sign of a deficiency in either and or combination of potassium, magnesium, calcium. Now the types of those nutrients, again, you're going to need to research on your own. If you are taking any kind of substance that says carbonate, especially potassium carbonate, it's basically, calcium carbonate, you're chewing on rocks. The body has a really hard time digesting that or absorbing that. So you might want to look at lactate, calcium lactate. Anything that ends in an 8, like a citrate, is more easily moved into the body, but also easily moved out of the body. So too much of citrates, potassium, magnesium citrates, can cause a little bit of stomach eruption and, blowouts in the bathroom. So think about lactate, glycinate, calcium, magnesium, and potassium are really great ways to help calm the nervous system. An average person, healthy person, needs approximately 4,700 milligrams of potassium daily. Where are you going to get that from? If you're not taking it, if you're not eating it in foods, which would equal a lot of greens, mixed greens, green vegetables, and external supplements, powders, or electrolyte powders can help to just look at the ingredients and make sure and research on your own. Talk to your healthcare team, your team in spirit, and see what works for you. Listen to your body. Okay. So while we're on the biology chemistry track, let's talk a little bit about things you can do that can help to ease the tension once you're exercising, breathing, eating really well, and taking your potassium, magnesium, and calcium. Too much calcium, not great for the body, but it depends on the person and what's going on. You got to check with your healthcare professionals and research. And so the combination of those things, once you have that in place and a foundation, and you're still having, great amounts of fatigue, anxiety, worry, panic, jittery, you just can't calm it down. So then you look at what you're eating and drinking. No sugar, no caffeine, tops the list. Up the greens. And certain teas can help, chamomile, herbs like that. Detox teas can help as well. And what I found throughout my years and experience that has helped me and some of my clients, recommended to me by one of my doctors, was something over the counter you can get called lithium orotate. And lithium orotate you can get in 3 milligrams or 5 milligrams. It is a component of lithium, but you can't OD on it. If you take it every day, twice a day, you might start to experience the symptoms you want to get away from. But taking 1 lithium orotate is helpful because it's absorbed more easily by the body, the orotate, and it, in combination with the potassium and all the other minerals and trace minerals that you're taking, it can really help your body to regulate that parasympathetic and reset. And you just takes the edge off. Okay, some other things, if you're having trouble sleeping, this is just a blanket statement. You have to check on your own, do your own research, check with your body, check with your healthcare people. And but some things that can help are SAMe. And you want to check ingredients, because if it's got a bunch of rice flour and magnesium stearate and all these fillers, it's not as great as the cleaner version. So SAMe has got a long name, and I didn't write it down, so I can't pronounce it right now. But it does help with your neurotransmitters, and does help to take the edge off as well. Also, an herb made from saffron called Crocus sativus. It is not a CBD. It is not THC. You can get it. I buy it on Amazon. There's 2 brands that I like, the drops. And you take a few drops. I think it's 8 to 10 drops of Crocus sativus is equal to 10 milligrams of Prozac, but with no side effects. You can't OD. If anything, you have more energy. So you want to research these things for yourself and see what works. Let's see, what else? We have the potassium, glycinate, magnesium, Crocus sativus, SAMe, lithium orotate, clapping your hands. If you've seen me before, the neuro techniques that create a pattern interrupt. And that would be clapping your hands 5 times, and or you can combine jumping up and down 5 times, and or combine bursting into songs for 5 seconds. Now, when you do that, you create a pattern interrupt in your brain. That's when you'd want to incorporate some breathing exercises to then fill your belly, your rib cage, and pull it up into your chest. And then what you're doing with that breath in that pattern interrupt moment is you're switching tracks. And that's when you incorporate a new thought that is present tense and positive. I am supported. I am calm. I move toward every moment with joy. Everything works out for me. Or my favorite is Christmas always works out for me, and every day is Christmas. And the reason I say that is not because of presents or religion, but because when I was a child, when it was Christmas, when you're a kid, it's like, ooh, there's like presents under the tree, ooh, Santa's coming, la la. But really, what did it for me, and still does, is the lights. The colored lights that I saw. Suddenly I would feel I couldn't describe it when I was a kid, but now we have lights in every room. And so cafe, Christmas kind of lights, but as soon as they are plugged in, I feel my entire body open. And I feel like, and what I'm seeing is the sparkle of essence of a soul, the one soul, one complete soul that we are extensions of. And it's just like sparkling stars, sparkling jewels, sparkling lights, anything that sparkles. I just have this feeling, and I always associate that with Christmas. So that's why I use that. So you pick a statement that really works for you and replace it, in that moment where you do the pattern interrupt, clapping your hands 5 times, jumping up and down 5 times, bursting into song for 5 seconds, breathing, fill that space. A new moment is right in front of you, is enveloping you. What do you want to fill that time and space with? Something positive. I am supported. I am love. I am an eternal, effervescent being. I am powerful. I am supported, loved. I am, fill in the blank, like those are the basic ones, but you can always have your own that don't have to do so much with other people, but with your own needs. I am open to downloads. In my sleep. So if you don't want to do it while you're awake, so then you might not feel dizzy or panicked or tired. Does that make sense? Is this helping? Just let me know. I will be back on next Thursday. Today's the 4th, and I'll be back on the 11th at same bat time, same bat channel. All right. How's everybody feeling? How are you guys doing? Guys, gals, and those of non-specific gender. How are you feeling? What's working out for you these days? What's working out for you these days? I want you to realize that as you work with your biology and your own chemistry, what you're doing is you're creating space for bigger, better, brighter downloads. And those downloads and uploads are expanding your awareness each and every moment of every day. So sometimes you can say to the universe, okay, just like perspective, and I just need to digest a little bit. Proportion, please. Just give me a good night's sleep. Thank you. Thank you. I'm just turning down the volume. Turning off the Wi-Fi. So important to turn off the Wi-Fi, especially now 5G is entering the planet. Your body is trying to field and negotiate so much all the time, let alone the billion emotions that you have stored in every cell that say you are not enough, it's not going to work. Oh my gosh, let's, wow. Right? Yeah. These are proven techniques. So find one or a couple that work and put them to use. And I'm going to pull a card for the group. Does this make sense? Does this help? Let me know. Come talk to me. I've been doing a lot of downloading and uploading lately. A lot. And, you know, in fact, yesterday I felt like I was walking sideways and I couldn't focus on anything. It didn't matter which pair of glasses I had on. Everything was blurry. Everything. And I just felt like I was dragging. And I thought, okay, so if I feel like that, I'm not going to push it. I'm just going to eat well. And I'm going to nurture myself. And I'm going to just be as present as possible in as many moments as possible. That's the best you can do anytime, ever. Because if you're trying and attempting to manifest something, and you go full force, first you have to get clear on what it is you want, right? That's the order of things. Wisdom comes from knowing the order of things. And so, you know, yes, I want more money. Yes, I want to have a happier, healthier relationship. Yes, I want to have a baby. Yes, I want to start traveling again. Yes, I want a different career. Yes, I want to, you know, redo the bathroom. You know, we're thinking of putting a fireplace in our house. We're also researching electric cars. Our car is many years old and it's a hybrid. And we're thinking, how will this work? What does it cost? We already have 3 charging stations in our town. So, you know, as you start to take in new information and research, and because we're in the Aquarius energy, it's going to be Uranus guided. And Uranus is all about space, technology, freedom, expansion. So as you create space in your mind and body, you're creating space in your world and through your manifestations. And so you might say, oh, I've been working so hard on this thing and it's not happening yet. It's not happening. It's like, okay, that's what I started to say earlier. It's like once you narrow focus, you get out of the chaos, you take some deep breaths, you start to focus on the hand or the clapping or the jumping or the bursting into song, or, you know, a simple focus, then you have to broaden your focus. The same with manifesting. If you are focused on, I want to make more money. So can I create products? Is it finding a different job? So you start to do the research on how that gets done. And the universe will always show you how if you're open to it. So the more, and it's like one circle, the more you make space in your mind and body, the faster the universe can come to you. That's through meditation. Meditation creates space. Lots of space. When your body is in pain, your cells cluster. When you meditate, those cells start to separate. It's really hard when you're in a lot of physical pain or very deep, profound emotional pain. You just got to be in it. You can't fight it. There's no fighting. There's moving energy, folks, okay? So when people say to you got to fight this thing, it's like, no, there is no fighting. There is moving energy. Because the more you fight, the stronger the resistance. And if you're resisting, nothing's going to change. Does that make sense? So what I think is important is that once you get clear on what it is you want and you move toward it, you're acting as if, start to incorporate feelings. And this is not new information. This has been thousands of years. All the greats have been talking about it. Thousands of years. This is how to manifest. You get that feeling of excitement, enthusiasm, which literally means deity on the inside. And you're feeling empowered. You're feeling empowered. I'm so excited. You know, that thing, act as if it's already happened. Your brain, and this is a fact, doesn't know the difference between what's real or imagined. It knows how you are feeling in the moment. And if you're feeling down, be down. But embrace it in a way that does not expand the down. And then, and it never works, and I can, and they did that, and this happened 20 years ago, and That's not where we want to go. We want to cut off that sympathetic section. You know, these words don't even apply, right? Sympathetic might sound like, oh yeah, I feel for you. No, the sympathetic nervous system gets stuck in panic. We want to move toward parasympathetic, and that is resetting, relaxing, recovering. All the re's come up in a Mercury in retrograde. Oh, here's a card that just flipped out of the deck. Don't let the past hold you back, the South Node. Don't let the past hold you back. And that's what it's trying to do because it feels safe and comfortable. And that's what people do. This is chemistry. This is biology. This is all all, let's see, who do I listen to and have for many, 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 many years? Well, Bartholomew, Mary Margaret passed away, but it was Bartholomew, it is Abraham, Esther Hicks, it is Joe Dispenza, it is John Asseroff, it is, who else? Well, I think it was in the early 80s. I was telling my kid the other day, somebody gave me, or I can't even remember, I think somebody gave it to me, my first copy of You Can Heal Your Life, Louise Hay. I think I was 23 or 24. I'm 60 now. I started loaning it out to people. I still have that copy. It's like the pages are all old and crumpled, but these messages that are coming through are now building a framework and a network that's expanding. And they expand through connectivity, through brain function, elasticity, neuroplasticity. It's when you stretch your brain and get out of my mother had diabetes, so I'll probably have diabetes. We got to get out of that thinking if you're still in it. And the unconscious part of you, if you're feeling tripped up, one or several things is happening. You're uploading or downloading new information, and it needs a room and space, and you have to keep up the vehicle. If the vehicle can't uphold the spiritual, the vehicle passes. The vehicle moves on. And so does the spirit. So as you're integrating and removing and letting go of stuff and not regurgitating by talking about it forever, it's like, don't deny. So like there's a fine line, and it's called, I would say, the line that circles a cell. When you look at a cell under a microscope, or go look on Google and you see one cell, it's delineated by light. Without the light, you can't see the shadow. And so when the shadow comes up and you're starting to let go of the shadow, and you're like, I feel limitation with that shadow. Every time I meet somebody new, I put old crap on a new situation, and I just can't seem to get there. I can't seem to get close. Okay, it's not about them, right? So you look in the mirror and you say, how can I, and you can write about it if you want, you can think on it, ponder it, meditate, you can do whatever you want, but in the moment that you're feeling it, that's the vibration you are outputting. No judgment. In order to move from that vibration to the next vibration, 30 seconds until you feel like you need to. Okay? These little physical exercises, jump up and down, burst into song, 5 seconds. These little exercises help you to get back on track with the parasympathetic and recuperate, recover. And then it's up to you to take that very next moment and get excited about something. Get so excited about something by having a broader focus, not so narrow. Like, I'm going to do that thing. And it just reminds me of John Voight in Runaway Train. It was like, and he has a toothbrush, and he's talking about the work that he had to do. And he's like, you got to scrub that spot. You got to scrub that spot. And it's like the focus is so narrow that you can't hear the universe talking to you saying, hey, back up. We're trying to help you manifest. We want to give you what you're vibrating. You sure you want that? You sure you want that intensity? You sure you want that closed door? Are you sure? Does that make sense? I think maybe this is the most comprehensive I've ever put this together in one show. Does that make sense? These are very simple techniques. You can do these things. You can pass it on. And please, if you're watching this, excuse me, now live, please share. Please like. If you're watching this on YouTube replay, please subscribe. Please comment. Share your experience. Share with others of like mind who you feel might benefit from this information. There's so many of us getting the word out. And you can have what you want because that's why you came here. Just look at it as a choice. You choose something, not like you have to wait for something. You don't have to wait for something. And if you're having trouble, you're stuck in the 95%, no judgment. And that 95% of your unconscious is saying, that didn't work the last time. It's not going to work this time. Why would you want to do that? It's, you know, I'm watching them. It's not working. It's their fault. It's not. I'm trying to move that. What is that in my Rivendell? Does that make sense? You have the power to take that moment. And if it's so sad, if you've just suffered loss or a great magnitude of biochemical interruption, menopause, you haven't eaten, you're starving yourself, you're eating crap, you're eating sugar, you're drinking caffeine, you're not taking care of your biology, then you're going to start to feel panic, nervous, anxiety, adrenaline, because you're not going to be clear. And we want to be clear. We want to be as clear as possible. So, because that's how you manifest. On or off planet, folks. That's it. That's the gig. That you came here to feel deeply, but not to get stuck. To feel deeply. I'm going to pull a card for the collective. Thank you, Starseed. Thank you, my angels, my team and spirit across time, dimension, karmic experience. Please lend a little insight through Yasmin Boland's cards, artwork by Nix Rowan. Oops. Moonology. Let me just check in. Joe says, great advice. Rhonda says, yes. Hey, Kate's here. Thank you for responding. Because I'm not in front of a group, I'm trusting that my word is getting out there, but it's nice to see people and their experiences. Hear about what's happening, what's going on. All right. Just give this another. Okay, here's what's coming to me right in this moment is that because we are in an Aquarian energy with Mercury retrograde in Aquarius and so many planets, by February 11th, we are going to be in... Did I? There it is. We're going to, by February 11th, look at all that Aquarius energy. Woo! We're going to be rocking the house, folks. So these methods that I'm talking about really do help. But music, vibration, moving energy through vibration, chanting, sound therapy, tuning forks, solfeggio frequencies, binaural beats, theta waves is going to help. All right, advice for the collective right now. Oh, I love this. Thank you. The end of a tough cycle approaches. Moon in Capricorn. We're not headed toward a moon in Capricorn. We're actually headed, what's our next one? We were in Leo. Virgo is our next moon, full moon, but the end of a tough cycle approaches. So everything is cyclical. Everything. So if you want to alter the frequency, change the vibration, you begin a new cycle. You create neurons and baby branches in the parasympathetic nervous system on the vagus nerve that branches out into your intestines, your gut, your digestion. You know, the colon is your second brain. So as you digest energy, nutrients, what you need in the moment, as you digest these things, you're upgrading. Pretty darn cool, huh? All right, one more card before I go. One more cup of coffee before I go. I think that's Bob Dylan. Where did that come from? The past. To the valley below. Okay. And I was not a Dylan fan. I loved his lyrics, but his voice, I didn't. Okay, don't let pride get in your way now. Don't, as you're expanding through your experience, it's your experience. It's not turning to someone and going, hey, you need to do this. I'm telling you, you don't need to do that. You don't need to tell them what to do. No pride. Be proud of you. Validate you. And then look at the next moment with such enthusiasm. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. That's why when I plug in Christmas lights or I think about Christmas, always works out for me, and every day is Christmas, I just get a tingle. I get a tingle, not because a present is coming to me, but because I am present. And everything comes to me when I am present. Same for you. Yay! Okay, folks, I will be back next Thursday. Vicky says I really needed this today. I'm so glad. I'm glad this helped you. And there it is. And there it is. Be you, be sparkly, be present. And you have some techniques now. If you joined later, you can listen to the replay. I talked about some nutrients, minerals you can take, some over-the-counter stuff that really does help dampen down and mitigate the panic and worry. Talked about how there are certain breathing exercises you can do. EFT tapping, right? I mean, tops the list. I have a video on that, but I have to search through it and I'll repost it. So that as you do EFT tapping, you also hit all the acupuncture points in your body, and you can quiet that 95% of your unconscious voice that wants to rule the world. And we see what that looks like. Just turn on the news. That's what the 95% of everybody's unconscious becomes. It's a sideshow. Not fun. Go have fun. Go watch a movie. Go listen to music. Go sing. Go sing. Go be you. I'll see you next Thursday. Thanks for being here. Thank you for being. As always, I wish you peace.